All right, you guys, so I am sitting outside of Walmart right now. I am going to go in and show you some things. I thought it'd be better than just telling you. I'm actually going to be showing you some of the items that I pick up for my family and some of the tips and tricks that I use for doing grocery shopping, doing it fast, being effective, and getting healthy items for not only myself, but my kids as well. So let's go inside. So I am here at a Walmart neighborhood market. Occasionally this is where I shop. I also like to shop at the Walmart Supercenter. There's a really nice Harps, sometimes the health food store, as well as Aldi. So it kind of just depends on my schedule and what we need. But for this video this morning, I'm gonna be recording it at the Walmart neighborhood market. So it's pretty, similar to a lot of different grocery stores. It's not quite as big as the Supercenter, but it has a really good selection. And I love shopping at health food stores, but of course budget is something that I have to consider now that I have a family. And so I don't always get to shop and buy everything at the health food store. So let me show you what your typical grocery store is going to have. So you've probably heard to shop the perimeters of the store before you go into the aisles, and that's because most of the time these foods don't have a bunch of preservatives and they're just the good whole foods. So I like to start my grocery shopping trip in the produce aisle. When it comes to fruit, my kids love it, and I try to give it to them at least 1 or 2 times per day. You don't have to buy organic everything, but there is something called the Dirty 10 or Dirty Dozen list that I will share with you all. Berries are one of those things that if you can, to try to buy organic. So what I do is I like to buy grapes, apples, and oranges, as well as bananas, and always have those on hand. And then when I get home, I wash them. One tip when it comes to buying fruits and vegetables is don't overbuy. Be realistic about what you and your family are going to eat that week, because one of the most frustrating things is throwing away healthy food. And so just be cautious. So like I said, I do apples, bananas, and oranges always, and then I try to pick 1 or 2 good fruits. If I'm at the health food store, I will do some berries, or today I'm going to pick up some grapes. And so I'm realistic because I know those grapes will get eaten. Apples, bananas, and oranges don't go bad, and I like to use them in my smoothies, and it's like a really easy grab and go snack. But just be realistic and don't overbuy. When it comes to dressings, I am not a fan of your typical ranch, and I will show you why. But this is the one that I pick up for my family. It's pretty clean. It doesn't have MSG, and you have to be careful with MSG because MSG is a neurotoxin. It's called monosodium glutamate, and I will show you that on a ranch dressing when I get to that aisle. I also really like the Opa brand. This is a really nice, it's actually made with Greek yogurt. It's really low in carbohydrates, and so I like to use that one too if I have to. It's not the cleanest. What I do personally is oil and vinegar. That works for me, but when it comes to my kids, they will not do vegetables with just oil and vinegar. So we buy ranch, and it keeps them eating vegetables, and Mama doesn't mind. All right, so I usually pick up one of these every single week, and this is what my family uses for lettuce. Okay, so when it comes to salads, I try to do at least 1 salad a day. I like to pick up the already pre-mixed, pre-washed spring mix that's organic here. This big one lasts my family the entire week. And then what I do is I like to buy 1 to 2 ingredients to put on the top and kind of mix in with them, a minimum. But again, don't overbuy, but make the salad to where you're actually going to enjoy it. So sometimes I'll buy the sugar snap peas or the broccoli. I usually pick up a bag of this also for roasted broccoli, or you could do the vegetable medley for roasted broccoli. Super easy. Put it in a bowl, olive oil, salt and pepper, roast it, 425 for 15 minutes. Really easy. And then these are great for different items that you can put on top of your salad that are already cut up, and they're fast and easy. So here's the organic section here at Walmart, and whenever I can, depending on our budget, I do try to pick up some kale. I like to add this to my smoothies and a little bit to our salad. Romaine, I love when they have the organic romaine because I can just throw this into a container, cut it up, and it's really a good budget-friendly way to get a lot of salad. I keep carrots on hand all the time because they're easy vegetables for the kids, as well as cucumbers. A couple items I like to keep in my house that are really easy side items. Like I mentioned before, roasted broccoli. So I keep a big bag of the already pre-cut broccoli. as well as some sweet potatoes. These are really nice. My kids, we call them orange mashed potatoes. I put a little butter or coconut oil and they will devour these, and I like to have them as a nice side item. I like to keep the red potatoes over the regular potatoes for my husband, and we can throw some chili or whatever on top of them. They have a little bit more nutrition than the regular potatoes, but even just having, you know, some potatoes for baked potato, not a problem. I mean, they're a little higher in carbohydrates, but you get your yellow containers if you're doing the 21-day fix program. I am a fan of carbohydrates, and these will give you some good nutrition in terms of some good healthy carbohydrates, low glycemic. All right, so when it comes to picking deli meats as well as sausage, bacon, hot dogs, any of those, a lot of them have preservatives in the form of what's called a nitrite. Nitrites are neurotoxins and not healthy for you, and I'm very excited that Walmart now carries many brands that are nitrite free, one being Oscar Mayer Selects, and they have these in deli meat, bacon, hot dogs, so many choices that you can get that you don't have to go to the health food store to buy. It's pretty expensive, so I like to keep these on hand, or some deli meat as well as some bacon. Of course, I love my bacon, but always try to buy preservative free and look for an ingredient called nitrites. So if your family is used to eating white bread and you get something like this, which is my personal favorite, but it's a multigrain bread, it's going to be overwhelming to them. So just do it in phases. You know, start with maybe a white wheat variety and then go to a wheat variety or a honey wheat, but you're wanting to get as close to a whole grain as possible, and again, looking at ingredients for not a lot of added sugars. I love the Dave's brand, and in fact my kids absolutely love this. Also, you know, there's some like in Nature's Life, you want to look for 100% whole grain, and then this one's a sugar-free. I really like that variety as well. So yes, making your own bread would be ideal, but I don't personally have time or the desire to make my own bread, so Dave's is the next best thing. At the health food store, you can also find brands like Ezekiel and things like that, but again, if your kids are used to eating white bread, that's going to be really hard for them to jump from white to Ezekiel, so take it in baby steps and phases. Okay, so we do a lot of peanut butter and jellies at our house, so something really quick I want to point out is when you buy the classic peanut butter, they're going to have extra oils. So here you'll see they actually add sugar, fully hydrogenated oils. So when you're looking at your peanut butters, try to buy the most natural variety. There's some organic up here that if you'll look, it doesn't, I mean, it's simply just peanuts. Really simple. We don't need all the extra crap. Okay, so when it comes to peanut butter, this is my personal favorite brand. No, it's not organic, but it is pretty clean. It's very simple. It just has peanuts in them, and so this is what my family really likes. I do also like other nut butters like almond butter and cashew butter. Unfortunately, Walmart does not have any varieties that does not have added sugars to them. So again, look at the ingredients and make sure you're not buying something with a lot of extra sugar that you just don't need. Okay, let's talk jelly and honey. I like to buy organic or local honey when possible, but there are some varieties here at Walmart that I would have for my family. When it comes to jelly, I like to buy this brand here because it's actually lower in sugar than most, but it's just coming from your fruit juice and not a bunch of added extra sugar. Okay, another area is the cereal aisle here. As you can see, huge variety, and we do cereal a lot of times in the mornings, but I'm very particular of the cereal that I buy for my kids because there is just a lot of crap, food coloring and added sugars that I just don't want to put into my kids if I can help it. And so the cereals that we eat are just plain Cheerios. We like Rice Chex. My daughter is also a fan of the oatmeal squares, which I will show you, as well as even like Frosted Mini Wheats on occasion. Pretty clean-ish. I really just try, again, to limit the sugar. If I could get them to eat something like Rice Bran, but they don't like that right now. So I really try to find something that they like that also doesn't have a lot of extra sugar. This is the one that my daughter really likes. It's the oatmeal square, so it still has a little bit of sugar, but it's not nearly as bad as what you're going to find with a lot of other varieties. Plus it is high in fiber, so we eat that. And of course I love oatmeal. I like to keep the some oatmeal on hand because it's, again, a really good clean, and we do oatmeal at least once or twice a week. I do sometimes buy the quick oats, but when in When in doubt, I go for the old-fashioned. Yes, I love steel-cut oats, but it just takes more time to cook. So some good old-fashioned oats is the way that I go. All right, so now we're in the sugar in the baking aisle, and you guys, I could do a whole video alone on this. It just kind of depends on your taste and what you like, but I'm a big fan of stevia. But again, I want you to go for just stevia in the raw. Also, health food stores have this in liquid. This is going to be your cleanest variety of stevia. There are some different brands like Truvia and things like that. But again, they have changed the actual composition of the stevia to make it work, or make it to where they could like label it themselves. So there's a lot of also, you know, some people don't like the taste of stevia, so I say, you know, go for honey or maple syrup, or actually just real cane sugar, or coconut sugar. But I can't stand Splenda, Sweet and Low, any of those, because they are aspartame and sucralose and really fake sugar. They're a neurotoxin. They've been linked to dementia and Alzheimer's. Not a fan of artificial sweeteners at all, besides stevia. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of dairy, but we do keep a little bit of cheese in our house. So you can see the cheese selection is huge, 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 huge. So let me show you, most health food stores, most grocery stores will have this right here, which is Tillamook, and I like to buy this and keep this on hand. This is RBST, which is the hormone that they give a lot of the, see right here, FDA, no, RBST. They give a lot of the cows. So this is, if you can't find grass-fed cheese, this is gonna be your next best option. And again, it's kind of a big thing. At Sam's Club, they do have Kerrygold, which is a grass-fed cheese, but they don't have it at this Walmart. And so I like to buy this one if I needed cheese in a rush and I don't have time to run to Sam's. So something some people don't know is when it comes to cheese, string cheese, they actually dip the cheese in a potato starch that actually, you know, it's very processed to get cheese to string. So I don't like to buy these for my children. Occasionally I will actually buy, and these are new, the little cheese, you know, squares here, and this is that brand that I love. And then this is something I noticed today. Here are some cheese sticks that are organic from Kraft that Walmart is carrying. So if your budget allows it, you know, getting items like this is always fun. All right, you guys, I am a fan of butter. I am a huge non-fan. I hate margarine. So when it comes to butter, get the real deal. Kerrygold is gonna be your best option because it is grass-fed. And so I really like Kerrygold. But if you know, your budget doesn't allow that, go for the real deal, real butter. Please, 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 do not use margarine. Use butter in cooking. And this is my favorite here.